What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video or another live stream. Thank you guys all for being here. Really appreciate it. We are starting early today, and I haven't decided yet. I might switch the times up just a little bit and do it a little earlier. I know when I do it at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for some people that's late. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and not everybody can catch my videos or my live streams at that time. So I decided, hey, you know what? Let's do it at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we'll see how this goes. You guys can let me know also. Let me know in the chat what you guys want, what you prefer when it comes to times, and we'll see what we can do as far as working that out. But I might do kind of go back and forth when it comes to the times. So haven't really decided yet. We'll just kind of play with it. Just got a notification on my phone. Just want to make sure everything's okay. All right, so we have a few things to talk about today. We have a few things to talk about today. So thank you guys all for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Miss Happy Apple, thank you for being in the building. So she is going to be helping out today. I really appreciate everything that she does. She really helps out. Lori, thank you for being here. Lori's another moderator, so she can assist as well. Let's see the topics today. The main topic is I want to talk about the calendar. So we want to look at the calendar again. So the congressional calendar. Believe it or not, Congress, they don't work a normal schedule. Okay, they don't work a schedule like you and I. They have a lot of time where they have recess. Where recess means they go back home, back to their home districts, and they do some work back home. Some people commonly call this a vacation. I'm sure some of their time they probably do take vacations here or there. They might not be working that 40-hour week that most people work, 40-hour plus week. So they will be going on another recess. Once they'll come back, they'll be back for about 3 weeks, and then they'll go on another recess. And so we need to talk about this because this really gives us a window into what they're thinking about when it comes to this next stimulus package. So we'll talk about that. Some other things that I want to talk about is just what's on the table in September. So we're going to have some expirations happening in September, and usually we see Congress, they get, as Stephen Mnuchin says, they get focused when there's an expiration date or when there's a time table. And so we have some things that are expiring. And so we're going to talk about that and why that could push them to get something done sooner than later. And so we'll discuss that. And then we're going to talk about ultimately what we're getting to is, and this is the question that I ask of you guys, as well as I'll give you my opinion when it comes down to it. So if there is no stimulus deal, or like if a stimulus deal doesn't happen, who do you think is going to be hurt most politically? When I say who, I'm talking about the politicians. So do you think it's going to be the president? Do you think it's going to fall more on the Democrats, fall more on the Republicans, fall on everyone? I won't even say everyone, because I want to kind of really look at where do you guys think this is going to happen? Because obviously I think a no stimulus package is going to hurt everyone, but it's going to affect certain people more than others. That's the way that I feel. So let me know what you guys think about that. That's kind of what we're going to be leading into at the end of the live stream. And so, that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we do that, I'm going to go in the chat for a second here. If you guys could please hit that like button. We have about almost 800 people in the building. So if you can hit the like button, I really appreciate that. That will help with the YouTube algorithm. That will push us out to more people. And right now, I'm really trying to, and you guys you might hear me say this, you might hear other YouTubers say this, but I'm trying to get back into that YouTube algorithm. Sometimes I fall out of that algorithm. It's kind of weird where you can put out a video, it does really well, then you put out another video, it doesn't do well, and then YouTube kind of makes a decision at that point. Okay, we're going to stop promoting you as much as we did before, And that's what's going on with me right now. I'm not getting promoted as much as I did before. When I say promoted, I mean YouTube will actually send my videos out to different people, not just the people subscribed to my channel. So they'll usually they will send my video out to people on my that are subscribed to my channel. Anyone that's subscribed and hit the little bell notification, they're going to send out a video to you. They should be. So for whatever reason, it doesn't always happen, and I do get people that tell me this, but they'll send it to you guys. But then they'll also send it out to other people, and that's when you're getting into the algorithm, when they start promoting you out to more people, and that's when you'll know, because you'll get more views on the video, and then you can look at the analytics and see that they're promoting you out to more people. Right now, for whatever reason, I'm not being promoted out. YouTube is just not doing that. And so, I definitely see that in the numbers. So the way for you to help me when it comes to that is just hit the like button. That's all you have to do. Subscribing to the channel is great. Hitting the bell notification, that's great. But the best thing that you can do is hit that like button and comment down below. That's what YouTube likes. And I've seen that work, where they'll put me back in the algorithm for that. So if you could do that, I'd really, really appreciate it. All right, so we have people in the building. We have some members in the building. Don't forget, guys, we have a membership program, so you can join our membership. What we'll do in the membership is we'll have live streams that are private just to members. You'll also get a badge. So once you subscribe, you get a little badge. You guys can see these little brown coins or bronze coins. Those are members, and then their name comes up in green. So that means they're a member of the TEC show, or the Travel Explore Click channel. And so you can join the membership. There's right next to the subscribe button, there's a little join button. Just hit that join button, and then you need to either join whatever level you want to join. And we do exclusive stuff there. And I'm going to start doing some more just kind of little random videos here and there. Just kind of more of my life, kind of what I do on a day-to-day, that kind of stuff. A lot of people seem to be interested in that. They do ask me questions and stuff like that. So I'm going to start sharing that with the people who are a part of the membership. All right. So we have, let's see, Sherry, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm just kind of working my way up here. Pamela, thank you for stopping by, Pamela. And these are the members right now that I'm talking about, that I'm focused on. But I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate all your support. I'm glad that you guys find some time to come watch me and listen to what I have to say. So I really appreciate that. So we're going to get started with the show in about 2 minutes, okay? About 2 minutes, we'll get started. I just want to make sure everything is working properly. You can hear me properly, and I want to make sure everyone gets here so we can get started. For whatever reason, YouTube doesn't always just send out notifications right away. They wait a little bit. Sometimes they'll send out some notifications, and they'll wait like 5 minutes, send out some more notifications. I don't know how this whole thing works, this algorithm thing, but it's not always doesn't always make sense. So when I go live, you gradually see the numbers move up. And part of that is because people are liking the video and YouTube's promoting it out to more people. But another part of it is they're just sending notifications out at different times. Too cool. Thank you for stopping by. Too cool. All right. Let's see. And if you have questions for me, just put at TEC. Just put at TEC, and I will answer those questions, and I'll wait till the end, and then that's when we'll answer more of the questions. All right, so we're going to get started here. Thank you guys all for stopping by. The first thing I want to talk about this calendar, okay? So this congressional calendar, when are they coming back? Because they're on recess right now. So we saw the Democratic National Convention, we saw the Republican National Convention last week, and so now we're ready for them to come back and start these negotiations. Officially, I guess you could say Nancy Pelosi and Mark Meadows had a phone conversation, so we could call that a start of negotiations. But they left that negotiation, and Nancy Pelosi said that they're at a tragic impasse. So she's saying that, hey, look, this is it. She's put a number on the table, $2.2 trillion. She dropped that down from $2.4 trillion. and she's drawn a red line, is from what I'm hearing and from what she's saying. She doesn't want to go lower than 2.2 trillion. And right now, and we'll look at this too. I'll show you just where everyone is when it comes down to the numbers. As a matter of fact, I can show you guys that right now. Let's pull that up. So here are the numbers, and this is where everyone is. Okay, so you have the Democrats at 2.2 trillion, right? You have the Republicans at 1 trillion, and then I put a slash there, 500 billion, because the Republicans are looking at the HEALS Act, which is 1 trillion. That's initially what they wanted. And now it looks like they want to do this skinny bill. And so they're working on a skinny bill, and this skinny bill is going to be, it's going to be around $500 billion. And so that's where the Republicans in the Senate are right now. Now, the White House, they're willing to go to 1.3 trillion at this point. And we heard about 3 weeks ago, Stephen Mnuchin did come out and say, I'm willing to go higher. You know, we're willing to go higher than the $1 trillion. He didn't give an exact number, but he said that they're willing to go higher. Looks like 1.3 trillion is where the White House is when it comes down to the negotiations. So those are the numbers right now, as we know. And all this stuff is, it's not exact, right? We don't know exact. All we're doing is listening to what they're telling us. And so that's where we are. How we're going to get to 2.2 trillion, I don't know, but I would think we should be around 2 trillion, because I'm just looking at the CARES Act. The CARES Act was 2 trillion. Okay, the CARES Act was around that 2.2, 2.3 trillion. And so they've done that. They've done this before. We know the results of what they did before, and you can look at it yourself and see, okay, do you think it was effective? Was it not effective? Did it just kind of keep us afloat? That's up to your interpretation, right? But it did do something. Now, especially if it's a situation where you don't think it helped that much, well, then you're probably going to need to do another 2 trillion in order for you to get the same result. Or, let's hope that the result's better. But that's what we're looking at right now, 1.3 trillion for the White House. And realistically, and this is unfortunate, but we have to kind of cut out the Republicans, right? The Senate, the 1 trillion or the 500 billion. We have to kind of cut them out because they're not really playing a part in the negotiations. So you have the White House negotiating, and then you have the Democrats negotiating. And so realistically, the Republicans in the middle, the Senate, they're not really doing anything. Now, they did say that they're going to come out with this skinny bill. They've been saying that for the last 2 weeks. We have not seen anything. Or I'll say the last week and a half. We have not seen anything. So we'll have to see if they do come out with a skinny bill. But if they do come out with that skinny bill, it's probably not going to have a stimulus check. So it's probably going to be a non-starter. But well, like I said, we'll have to see what they do with that skinny bill. So that's where we are right there. I do want to look at the calendar. Let's look at the calendar here, because I think this is very, very important for us to focus on. So this is the calendar for September. Now the purple color there, or first off the green, that's Labor Day. So that's a holiday, so no one will be here. I did hear some people saying, oh, yeah, they're coming back September 7th. No, they're not coming back on a holiday. Trust me. That is not going to happen. So they'll be back on the 8th, September 8th, and that will be both the Senate and the House. Okay, so both chambers will be back. And so they'll be back for that week, or at least the rest of that week. And then they'll be back until the 18th. Now, on the 18th, this is when the House won't be in session, but the Senate will be, just for that day, for those 2 days, I should say. And then after that, then they'll both be back in session again, and that they pretty much end out the month, right? Only the 28th they won't be there, but that's really no big deal. It's only 1 day. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to the calendar. And let me pull up. I just want to pull up the full calendar, just so you guys can see. So on the 20th, so the 28th, the Senate won't be there. The 29th, it will be the House only. Okay, so that's kind of how that played out. I forgot what blue was. That's why I wanted to pull up the full calendar just to double check what that was. Okay, now this is really important. Okay, so September, we know what's going on in September when it comes to the calendar, but now let's look at what happens in October and November. So, and we'll talk about all the stuff that's expiring or the things that need to happen in September. But look at October, November. So you have October; they're really not in session. They're in session like 1 week. So, and that's just the Senate is there for 1 week. We have the House and the Senate there for 2 days. And so the Senate is pretty much going to be there this whole time. Then you have a holiday on the 12th. And so October is kind of a month where not much is going on. And it's pretty understandable. They're all running for re-election, at least in the House they are. So they have to go back to their districts. They have to do their campaigning, last-minute campaigning, get the vote out, all that. So that does make sense. But just understand, if nothing gets done in September, that's going to be a bad situation, because most likely nothing will get done until after the election. And the reason I say after the election is they're on recess the majority of October, so they really have to hash something out just in that 1 week that they have there, or a week and a half if you want to look at it like that. And then they won't come back until after the election. November 9th is when the Senate comes back. The House doesn't come back until November 16th. So that's where we are, right? That's kind of crazy. I know it's kind of crazy, but that's what we're looking at when it comes to our calendar. And yeah, a lot of recess time, right? A lot of recess time. We go back here to September because I want to talk a little bit about this whole situation. So they come back on the 8th, and we'll work this out. They come back on the 8th. Come back to me here. And looking at some of the stuff that needs to be talked about in September. The stimulus checks, right? Stimulus check, stimulus package, that needs to be talked about in September, because we want another stimulus package, right? The budget talks. So we have budget talks. September 30th, that's the end of the fiscal year. And so now they're going to need to work out a deal for the next year. And when I say a deal, I mean they have to determine how much funding each department is going to get for the next fiscal year. And so that's the budget talks that you've probably been hearing about. I've said it a few times. And so now they have to figure out, are we going to do a continued resolution? Are we just going to continue to pay at the same level, at the same department levels? So not increase any budgets when it comes to the different departments. So they're going to have to look at that, right? That needs to be done in September. And if it doesn't get done by September 30th, then guess what? Government shutdown, which would be just a complete mess on top of a stimulus package debate, a government shutdown, and then we move on down. The airline industry, we're starting to see, and I'm going to do a video because there are a lot of, it's funny, I like traveling, obviously you guys know that, and I follow a lot of flight attendants on YouTube. That's kind of, I don't know if it's a new thing, but I do see a lot more flight attendants they have YouTube channels. And it's like my day in the life of a flight attendant, or the day in the life of a flight attendant. They kind of take you through and show you what they do as a flight attendant. And so I like it because it's travel. They're going to these different destinations, even though they're there for a day or two. They're traveling to these different places, and they're showing you, they're vlogging it. So a lot of these flight attendants are now doing YouTube videos, and I'm going to do a video. Hopefully I'll be able to get it out by tomorrow. And I'm just going to talk about just the whole thing, because this is this gives you a good window into how people are really, suffering. And I know people are suffering because I hear it in our Discord. By the way, we have a Discord, so if you guys want to join that Discord, there's a link in the description. Also in the chat, you'll see Discord link come through. Just click on it, go over there. It's a stimulus check. I created it for stimulus check updates. So we have a lot of information in there that will help you out when it comes to the stimulus package and all that, as well as we've opened it up to a variety of different things. So we talk about assistance, so government assistance. We're talking about a variety of travel credit card stuff, which is something that I was really interested in or into before. I still am, but I just haven't been traveling, so I really haven't been focused that much on that. But we have a lot of different things in there. Job announcements. So if you're interested in getting a job, there's some information in there where people are putting, hey, you know what? I found out that there's jobs here, there's jobs there, that kind of stuff. So join our Discord. It's really valuable information there. So I hear about it all the time. I hear people talking about how they're struggling. They let me know. They send me emails. But you're on YouTube. You don't hear a lot of people talking about this. And the flight attendants are now starting to come out and say, "Hey, look, this is we're getting furloughed." Which in their case, like furloughs mean different things for different people. Furloughs for I was talking about state and local governments. A lot of situations where you get furloughed for state and local government, it just basically means that they're telling you, okay, 40 hours, you're going to have to do 40 hours less this year. So that means that those 40 hours, you're going to have to take that time off, and you're not going to get paid for it. And so that's what a furlough means for state and local government. And that's not across the board, but I'm just saying, like, I work for county government, so I kind of know how that furlough process will work. And I have some friends that are doing furloughs right now. So it doesn't mean you're laid off. But in the airline industry, it looks more like a furlough is more like a layoff, where they will hire you back when they can, but you're not working and you're not getting paid. And so that you're pretty much, yeah, you're laid off. You're just waiting for a job. So airline industry, postal service bill. So we'll have to look at that. Nancy Pelosi a couple weeks ago, they did that, or it was actually last week, they did that emergency session on Saturday, and they voted on that postal bill, the $25 billion. So that will go to the Senate, and we'll have to see if the Senate even addresses that. So that's something else that we'll have to look out for. The enhanced unemployment talks. So let's face it, this executive order that the president signed, it will be expiring in September, and so they'll be out of money. And at that point, we're going to start talking about the same thing again. What do we do? How do we extend this? And so that's going to be on the table. So those are the major things. If there's some other stuff, just put it in the chat and we can talk about it. Just put @TEC and then put those things in, and we'll discuss them. But yeah, we are in a crazy time, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in September. All right, we have some new members here. So before I even do all that, I want to know, what do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you think, I think I have, let's see here. Let me put this, is that it? No, that's not it. There we go. Do you think we will see a $2 trillion bill? Okay, that's my question to you guys. So in the comments section, let us know, and then also in the chat, let us know. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want to give some shout outs here. So we have Diane. Thank you for becoming a member, Diane. Thank you very much. And Lou, thank you for becoming a member. I see these members, like when I'm looking here, I can see kind of on the side here. I'm going to start setting up my different cameras. Do I still have that? I think I still have that camera angle. Let's see here. I don't know if that'll even work. Let me try here. See how this comes out. I haven't done this in a while. Let's see if this works out here. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, it is not letting me do it. All right, so did I click the right one here? Maybe I didn't here. Let me see. Let's do it one more time. That. All right. Okay, I'm moving my head around just to see if it's not laggy. I had some issues with this before where it was a little delayed, so I don't want it to be like that. And yeah, I think that looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. All right, so oh, we got the echo here. Hold on. Let me turn this, mic off. Do I know how to turn the mic off? And I don't know how to turn the mic off. Bear with me, guys. Trying to get you some extra footage here, or an extra shot here. I think it'd be just easier to do. Yeah, let's turn that all the way down. There we go. All right. There we go. So there I am. So I just wanted to put that other camera angle in here. I did this before. I did a walkthrough of my whole setup just to show you guys what I'm looking at when I'm shooting these videos. And this is it. This is what I'm looking at. I got my little keyboard here and all this stuff in front of me here, big screen here. I also have another screen up on the top here. I can move the camera up a little bit. So I have a screen up there, my little chat here, camera there. So I got that little different angle. Kind of mix it up just a little bit. It's funny because the computer that I had before wouldn't allow me. It wasn't fast enough to show this different angle. It was actually really messed up, really delayed when I did this. So it looks like this computer can handle it. So that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back over here and go back into the chat and see if you guys have any questions. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. Just put @TEC, and I will make sure I go over those questions. Also, if you guys can hit that like button, I really appreciate it. We are almost at 1,000 likes. If you guys can get us up to 1,000, I'd really appreciate it. And we definitely have enough people in the room. We have over 1,000 people. So if you guys can all hit that like button, if you have not done so, hopefully we can get that. We need about 127 thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. All right. Okay, guys, let's see what we have going on here. All right, so you guys are talking about David and Clear. This was a while ago. Clear value tax, Logan Alec. Yes, they are very good. You know, it's getting really crazy right now, and yeah, you know, I guess I'll talk about it. I don't like talking about other channels and what other people are doing. I think there's some really good YouTubers out there that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, but there are also some not so good YouTubers out there putting out information, and it's really frustrating to see, because this is not just a normal kind of YouTube clickbait kind of topic. There's certain things you can do clickbait. If I'm vlogging and I do clickbait and I tell you, ooh, I almost got eaten by a shark or something crazy like that, and I just go in the water, but I don't almost get eaten by a shark. Stuff like that. It's just kind of it's more humorous than anything else. And some of the clickbait, when you see it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can get it. It's funny. You're saying you got married, but you really didn't get married. Or she said yes, but she didn't say yes to marriage. She said yes to something else. I mean, I get stuff like that. That's, it doesn't have any emotional impact on a person who's watching it, for the most part, right? Most people look at it and they're like, okay, ha ha ha, I get it. That was funny. But what I don't like, and I'm trying to do two things at once right now. So just give me a second. I don't know which camera I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Okay, but what I don't like is the fact that this topic that we're talking about is a very sensitive topic, right? We're talking about money. We're talking about people who are struggling right now, and they need and want assistance from the government. And so, because it's a sensitive topic, it's one of those topics that we should not be putting out clickbait about and misleading people and getting people into a situation where they think something's happening that's really not happening. And so that's what I have an issue with, and that's what we see a lot of. And I've been doing this for a while, and this is kind of funny, but the veterans the veterans started back in March, April of this year. And so that's when I started. I started in March. As soon as the CARES Act was signed, I put out a video that same day, I believe. And so, yeah, those are the people who've been here the longest. And that was Clear Value Tax. That was Logan Alec. That was a lot of these other YouTubers that, like I said, they put out really good content. Me, Kevin, he was out there. They put out good content. But now I'm seeing just a new wave of people that are coming in. Some of them, it's not even a person talking. It's just like a robot voice. And it's amazing to me because they're just putting out content that's they're making you click on their video. They're not giving you any information, or they're giving you inaccurate information. And they're really pulling at people's weakness right now. The desperation of wanting a stimulus check or needing money, unemployment, enhanced unemployment. They're promising, oh, it's coming. I know it's coming. It's coming this month and all this stuff. And that may very well be the case. We might see a stimulus package this month. There's a lot of stuff on the table this month that needs to be addressed, but there are no guarantees. And I'm hearing people say, yes, guaranteed, it's coming this month. Deal, reached, and all this different stuff. And it's like, this is a serious situation. And I think that there are people that are not taking it that way. They're just looking at, ooh, I can get more views if I put agreed, or I can get more views if I put finally, or if I put this stuff. And they're not thinking about who they're actually hurting. They're hurting these people who desperately come on YouTube to see what's the latest news, and they click on a video because it says finally, and they're like, oh, finally, good, this is great, let's see what they're saying. And then they don't even tell them anything. Finally they got back to negotiating, but that's nothing, right? Finally to me means something's been done. So it's just crazy. So what I'm gonna do, and I didn't plan this, that's why I was kind of talking through doing this. And I don't think you guys will be able to you're not going to be able to see me because I don't have that. Let me, can you hear me? Yeah, you guys, okay. All right, so we're just going to type stimulus check update, and I want to see what comes up. All right? All right. So we're in incognito mode, so it doesn't have anything. It's not on me. It's not on my cookies and all that stuff where it will automatically populate stuff just depending. Hey, but look, we're live right now. I like that. Not clickbait. Not clickbait. But, and one thing I do appreciate, people that just do updates, right? So they're just telling you this is what the update is. They're not giving you information and misleading you. Just like me, Kevin, he's just saying what's here, right? He's just saying second stimulus check, or second stimulus and state of stimulus update. That's it. So if you want to go on, you go on his channel to find out what the update is. Finally, what was the word that I said? Finally, this is a word that's used all the time. Finally, agreement. So there's an agreement. Where's the agreement? Where is the agreement? So you want to click on that because you hear finally there's an agreement. So you're going to want to go over there and find out what that agreement is. I have not watched this video, and there has been no agreement. Okay, so this finally agreement is nothing when it comes to a stimulus package. Now, if he's talking about the White House agreed on 1.3 trillion, and this is I'm trying to kind of think of where they're going with this, but that might be it. They agreed. They reached the White House has reached an agreement of 1.3 trillion. But guess what? The other side is saying 2.2 trillion. So like I said, I don't know what's in this video, but That's misleading in my eye. The same individual here. Let's see. Very good news. Stimulus check update. So there's some really good news. I don't know what that is. I use the title "Good News," but I make sure that there's something good that I have to share with you. I don't know what's good here, so I'm not gonna really badmouth that. If it's good news, it's good news. He's putting out something that's good. You guys would have to find out what that is. And I'm just scrolling through. Like I said, Clear Value Tax, he's been there from day one. He has really good content. He's pretty much started this. He was the most successful back then and still is, and kind of really started trending on YouTube and got, the reason why we got a lot of views is because of his channel. So, and like I said, he just puts the update. He doesn't give you all this, oh, yeah, finally, and all. I mean, it's just not in it's not in there. They're not trying to get you. He's not trying to get you that way. Let's see. Yes, some good news. Okay, we don't know what that is, but that seems to be something that is loosely thrown around, and people will click on videos if it says, yes, good news, right? And like I said, I use good news, but I will guarantee you if I'm saying good news, there's going to be something good that I have to share with you. The last time I said good news was the 50,000 people that will be receiving the stimulus checks in September. I think that's good news. 50,000 stimulus checks going out. I would consider that being good news. Not for everyone, but for some people, it's good news. Finally, now agreement on stimulus check is close. Okay, so now we have someone saying there's an agreement and it's close. The agreement is not close. Nancy Pelosi just said yesterday that they're at a tragic impasse. They are not close, not at all. Okay, maybe the White House is close with their numbers. They're close. They're saying, yeah, you know what, we're at 1.3 trillion. But if you look at 1.3 trillion and compare it to the 2.2 trillion that Nancy Pelosi says that they want, that's not close. That's 1 trillion, over 1 trillion apart. So, or less than 1 trillion. My math's off, but you get it. 900 billion. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so they're saying that they're close. Now, if I look at this video or this link or this, thumbnail on the link, then I'm thinking this is great. Compromise. Everything is, this is good. This is good news. I'm going to click on that video and think that, yes, they've come to an agreement. This is great. But I can guarantee you that no compromise has been made. And right now, they're not close. They just aren't. Let's see. Meet Kevin. Yeah, he's, like I said, there's certain people that I don't even have to go over because you guys already know they have good content. Stephen Gardner has good content. And they're all the same. Like, they're not giving you all this fluff, right? They're not giving you all this extra stuff to make you click on their video. $1,200 second stimulus check update agreement. So there's another agreement getting closer. So similar to the other person up there, they're getting closer to an agreement. Like I said, and you guys click on those videos, find out how close they're getting. But another thing that's crazy about this is, believe it or not, we get questions about the other people putting out videos, right? I mean, let me just cut off that now. But we get questions about these other YouTubers putting out videos. Oh, you're wrong. They'll tell me I'm wrong because I watched this other video and they told me that an agreement was close, or they told me that there was a compromise. Why aren't you talking about that? And so they attack me or attack us. I don't know if that's just me. I know there's other YouTubers that are getting the same stuff, because we're putting out content that is true content, and then other people are putting out stuff that's not true, and then now we're there saying, okay, well, no, that's not true, but they're telling us that we're wrong. So yeah, it is pretty frustrating when you see stuff like that. And those videos, like I said, I just went to incognito mode, typed it in. So you saw the top videos that are coming up when it comes to stimulus check update. So these are the videos that are doing the best, or the latest videos that have come out. And yeah, it's one of those things. I understand clickbait, and I've used it not in this, this aspect of stimulus check stuff, but I've used it before when I do my travel videos and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna use the clickbait because it's fun. Like I shouldn't say it. It's fun if it's like a vlog to put out clickbait. I did one. I was in Colombia and I was with a friend. It's not even a girlfriend, right? It's with a friend, and what did I put? I said she left me, and it had this face, and she hated this. She hated this thumbnail because it was like I was messing with her when we were out in the water, and I threw some water at her, and so she gave me that that mean look, and so I used that as a thumbnail, and when I posted it, she hated it. But anyway, I put on there that she left me. And so, of course, people are going to look at it. They're going to see me. They're going to see her. We're in these little inner tubes going down the river, and they're going to want to click on it. Oh, they broke up. I want to see what happened. Oh, I didn't even know he was with her. I want to, that kind of stuff. But it's harmless, right? It's just kind of, it's not a serious thing in a situation where I'm not talking about something that affects that person that's watching. It's just one of those things where it's kind of gossipy and they want to see just because of that. But when it comes to like stimulus checks and stuff like that, this is a situation where, yeah, this is a serious topic. This is a topic that we need to be honest and give out the correct information and not lead people to think that something's happening that's not really happening. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you guys also think down below in the comment section, because this has been bothering me for a while. I don't like calling people out, but I will when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll go to incognito mode and I'll just show you exactly what's there. It's not like I'm making anything up. I'll show you what's there, and you guys can decide for yourself. Is this a video that I should click on or not? Some of the videos I can tell you, if they're talking about that a compromise has been made, there's been an agreement. No, that has not happened. And we all know that. We all know that. So, all right. Let me know down below. I just saw someone was writing stuff earlier about that, and I just had to address it because yes, there are a lot of people out right now that are putting out videos, and it's a lot more than it was before. When I started out, there was probably about 10 YouTubers that were doing videos on stimulus checks. And now there's got to be at least 30, maybe 40 people that are putting out YouTube videos. And like I said, some of them it's not even a person. It's just like a robot. I mean, it's a person obviously, but it's a robotic voice, and they're just showing you different clips of different things. So yeah, it's getting crazy. I even saw some stuff earlier. And some of these videos I do watch just because it's like, you know what? I want to see how bad they're misleading, how badly they're misleading people, because they'll say things. It's like, no, this is not happening, but I have to at least see where they're going with it, right? So anyway, let me know what you guys think about it, and watch whoever you want. And there's certain people who only watch certain people, and I get it. That's fine. We have our Discord. We do post videos in the Discord, and some people like certain people over others. I totally get that. I totally understand that. I'm not telling you not to watch these YouTubers, but I am telling you, just make sure when you do watch that, just understand that some people are not in it to help. Some people are not providing help. They're probably not even answering comments. They're not doing live streams. They're not doing the groups and stuff like that, the Discords and stuff like that. So they're just pumping out videos. You watch their video, thank you very much, and that's it. So if they don't have to talk to you, that's even better, because I can put out whatever I want. And if I don't respond, or if I don't feel the need to respond, then I can say anything. And you're gonna watch it. You might be upset. You might come at me, but hey, I'm on to the next video. But there are people that are out there that are putting out content, good content, and they're there to help you. And if you have questions, they'll answer them. They have their Discord groups. They'll do live stream Q&As. They'll do all that stuff. They're not running from anyone. But some people that are on here, I think they're just going to be here for a couple months, and they'll be off. They'll be off to do something else and go for that next quick thing. All right. Okay, let's see here. So just put at TEC, and I'll make sure I address those questions. I'm getting a new lens today. Yeah, I think it's today. I think it's coming in today. And so I'm going to have a different camera angle that I'm going to set up, and I'll probably have it. Well, I will have it on my other channel. That's going to be my goal. I do have another channel. It's called Everything David. And if you guys want more information about that, I think I have a link that comes up on, if you see that Streamlabs in the chat, there'll be a link that comes up for that channel. But subscribe to that channel. I'm really going to start doing more videos on there. I've come off there. I've really been focusing on this channel, just trying to get it back to get back into the algorithm. I've been spending a lot of time working on the channel, but I will post a link here. But I have this different. I'm a nerd. Okay, so I'm all excited about this new lens that I'm getting, so I can have a different camera angle because I didn't have the right lens before, and it's just a way for me to say, oh, I'm going to spend money and buy a lens because I like camera equipment. But anyway, yeah, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I do have another channel, and that channel is there's a link there. That channel is just about just a variety of different things about me. Okay, so I have a lot of video that I'm starting to look at, and I'm going to start editing that my trips. Like I go to Colombia all the time. I haven't been there obviously because of COVID-19 in the last several months. I was there at the beginning of March. I left March 10th, came back home. So I was there for about 20 days, and then came back home. And I've been here ever since. Everything's locked down. We can't even travel to Colombia right now. Okay, let's see. All right, let me go back up here, and we'll get some. Rocio saying more. Let's see, Morris Vest, according to Vin, they good. Yeah, they're good. There are a lot. The easiest way, I think, and this is not okay. This is not like a 100% thing, but the easiest way is just to look at when they started their channel, or not when they started their channel, when they started talking about stimulus checks. That's the easiest way to do it. If you see people have been talking about stimulus checks since March or April of this year, those channels are probably pretty solid. And the reason for that is because a lot of the ones that weren't solid, they were only there for a minute and then they were off to something else. But if you see channels that have been around for a while, those channels are the ones that are probably the most accurate when it comes to the information that they're providing. And the clickbait channels, some of those channels get warned or they get taken down. Now, I don't know about stimulus checks because it's not really that, it's kind of hard to like really prove, like, do they know what they're saying? But when it comes to some channels, like if they're getting a lot of complaints, then those channels will be affected because of that. And so, yeah, you don't see a lot. If you look and see that they have a lot of videos on stimulus checks, then they're probably giving out some pretty good information, and that's why. But I'm just saying, I've kind of seen this whole pattern. Like when I tell you, when I started, Clear Value Tax at that time had 30,000 subscribers. That's when I put out my first video, because I actually, I'm not gonna lie, I watched his video and I'm like, oh, this is cool. He's talking about stimulus checks. I at the time was talking about travel credit cards. There are a few other travel credit card YouTubers that started talking about stimulus checks. And so I said, you know what, let me put out a video about stimulus checks. So I watched his video, and at that time he had 30,000 subscribers. We all know now he's almost 900, or he's even hit 900,000 subscribers. And so that's how fast he's grown. And that is, how, that's when everything really started. And I think prior to that, he might have had a few videos out about stimulus checks before that. But yeah, it's you want to look at how long people have been doing this, and that will give you a better idea of what's going on. Okay, let's see. I got people fired up about this. I don't know. You know, when it comes down to it, that's one thing that really bothers me. I don't mind clickbait. I don't mind it. But when it comes to stuff like this, personal stuff, you should not be using that. There are two things that I don't approve of when it comes to YouTube. Okay, when it comes to money aspects like this, the stimulus check stuff, I don't agree with using clickbait for that kind of stuff. When it comes to sensational stuff, violence, I will not talk about violence on my channel. Okay, any violent acts or any situations where there's violence, because I'm not going to be that person that's going to be trying to capitalize off of someone else's misery, right? Or someone else's tragedy. I'm not going to be that person. Some people do that. They'll see these different stories that come out. It's violent. Oh, people are going to watch because it's violent. So I'm going to post the video and I'm going to talk about it. And that's going to, no, I don't do that. I won't do that for that. And I won't do it for a situation. I won't mislead you to believe that you're going to be getting something that you're not going to get. And then say, oh, sorry, you know what? Maybe next month. Oh, sorry. Oh, maybe next month. I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you how it is. I'll tell you, you know what? It looks like I can say right now in September, since there's so much stuff going on, something has to happen. Now, does that mean that we'll get a stimulus package, or will they push it off? Because politicians love to do this. Our government loves to push things off. We're talking about the whole budget debate. They love to push it off. They'll say, you know what, we'll push it off for a couple months, and then we'll revisit it in December, or something crazy like that, right? They love to do that. And so that could possibly happen. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of stuff that's on the table. There's a lot of leverage that could be used right now. But will it happen? We don't know. There are no guarantees. There's no compromise. There's no agreement. There's nothing right now. So yeah. All right. You guys are getting me going here. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back here. Also, guys, if you're new here, please like the channel. Please hit the like button. Appreciate it. We had a super chat and I missed it. Who gave a super chat? I missed the super chat. Here we go. Jason, thank you very much for the super chat, Jason. I appreciate it. When I get fired up and I start talking, I'm not paying attention. But thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that. Let's see. And great news. Yeah, great news. Now, see, okay. Great news, good news, those are acceptable if it's good news or great news. I don't mind that. Like when I see that, that doesn't bother me. But when I hear agreements, when I hear finally, when I see finally, when I see agreements, when I see confirmed, when I see things like that, it bothers me because I know it's not. I know it's not the case. And I know people are clicking on those videos thinking that that's the case. Like, oh, great. Something finally happened. Like that's the thing, and Logan Alec actually put out a poll. So if you go over to his channel and his community page, he put out a poll about that. What's the word that makes you the most upset or the most clickbait word that's used? And so, yeah, it's funny. So go over to Logan Alec's channel, go to his community page, and take part in that poll. Because I thought that was pretty interesting, just to see what word is used the most. Like finally is used a lot. Like I see that a lot. I do see the great news. I see good news, but some of them are not as they're not as bad as some of the other ones. Blind to Billionaire, yes, he's good. He is good. I do watch his content. Let's see. Kevin gives the truth as well. Yes, I agree. And Kevin puts a lot of work into his videos. You guys see he's putting out. I'm just going to tell you, putting out one video a day, which is what I'm doing now, is hard work. He's putting out 3, maybe 4 videos a day. That's insane. That's insane. It really is, because you have to put the video out, you have to edit, or you have to shoot the video, you have to edit the video, and then you have to put it out. It's a lot of work. So the fact that he's doing that and he's giving you, good content, that is very commendable. Let's see. Let's see. Richard saying here, they agree not to agree. Yeah, that's the agreement. The agreement is we agree not to agree. So, and like I said, in a normal situation that doesn't involve money and playing with people's lives, I think that's good. Like, I mean, you could use clickbait for that, right? Agreement reached between um, me and my girlfriend, or whatever, if you want to say it like that. But there's really no agreement. The agreement is that you're not going to agree. The agreement is that you disagree. That we agree to disagree. That's fine if you're doing a vlog and it's you and your girlfriend and you have your viewers and they know that you guys are trying to reach some agreement and you say agreement reached, and then you do your video and you say, you know what, really it was agreement to disagree. That's okay, because it doesn't deal with people receiving money or you're not pulling at their their you're not messing with them in a vulnerable situation. So, all right, Matthew Perry, yes, he is definitely has some good content, and he was or still is. We're still in the travel credit card space, but he's one of the guys from the travel credit card, um, one of the travel credit card YouTubers that crossed over just like I did. Let's see. Let's see. And Jason saying, what is the purpose here if you don't have news? Now, that's a good question. That's a very good question. And I do get asked that a lot. Like, why are you putting out daily videos if there's no news? There's always news. The thing is, I'm more focused on the process. And so a lot of the videos that I'll put out, I'll give you some news, but then I'll also give you the process, because I think the process is what's really important in this situation, because we are now seeing how government really is run. And there are a lot of people who are upset with how government is run. There are a lot of people that are upset, like I showed you the calendars earlier, that Congress people have they go on recess a lot. There are people that are very upset about that. And by you covering it every day, you get to show people there's not much going on in government. They're not really focused on doing things. They're not trying to help the people out. So I think it's important to do that, because if you don't, and let's just say, oh, I'm only going to put out a video when there's an agreement, then I would have put out a video way back May 15th. That would have been one video, because the HEROES Act was approved by the House. Then I would have waited, and I probably wouldn't have put out another video until July 27th, because that's when the HEALS Act was the proposal came out. And then I would have waited until, I'd probably still be waiting right now. Like there's nothing really has happened other than the Postal Service. I might put the Postal Service voting on that. So that's like 3 videos. And then you wouldn't really know, okay, what's going on all in between all this stuff? What's really happening? Nothing. The government is doing nothing. And that's what needs to be, that's a big part of this whole story. And so seeing that, yes, I'm putting out a video every day and I'm showing you exactly what is not happening and what should be happening in our government. And so that story is something that I think is important to share. So I like to give you guys everything when it comes down to it. I don't want to just give you, and some people say, well, only put out news if it's good news. Guess what? The reality is a lot of the stuff that's going on right now is not good news. It's bad news. The government is bickering and fighting back and forth, and numbers go from here to there. I mean, that stuff needs to be, you need to put that stuff out. Even if I know I'm not going to get a lot of views for those videos, it still needs to be a part of this whole this whole story that we're telling. So that's why I do daily videos, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be said about this, and especially during an election year. That's the most important thing. We're talking about an election, so people should have the most information that they possibly can. And people can go back and watch some of my videos, and I'm hoping that they will see, okay, yeah, you know what? Look at this is crazy. Nothing happened for 2.5 months. The HEROES Act was passed on May 15th. Mitch McConnell wanted to wait 2.5 months before they tried to address it. And then now that they put this proposal out, it's an emergency. You want to see all that, right? Because that really tells the story of what's going on. Okay. Let's see. Dan says, do you think that they are purposely putting the stimulus check off until before the election? You know, I've heard that before. Yeah, I've heard that argument before, and even way back, I heard them talk about. I heard people talk. I'm not saying politicians, but just hearing people talk like, you know what? Yeah, they want to wait until closer to the election. That could be a good strategy, but the only problem is you're taking a lot of risk, and they've taken a lot of risk by doing that because you first off, there are going to be a lot of people voting absentee this year. So some people are going to start voting in the next couple of weeks, right? And so there's no stimulus check. There's no stimulus package approved right now. So you have people voting right now that they're voting for whoever they want to vote for, depending on, and they're looking at what the situation is right now. They're not looking at the situation right before election. And so I think you run a real serious risk if you want to wait until closer to the election. And let's face it, we're close to the election now. I mean, we're going into September, and we have all this stuff that needs to be addressed in September. And so you're really taking a big risk if that's your strategy. That's a huge risk to take. And then if you follow the last stimulus check debate, when the CARES Act was approved, there were a lot of hiccups along the way. And so we probably won't see as many hiccups with this next stimulus package, but there's still going to be hiccups. Checks are still going to be going out to some dead people. I mean, there's going to be problems. Checks are going to be going out to people that are in prison, and they're still going to have some issues. Some people aren't going to receive their checks for a variety of different reasons, and so it might be good for some, but not good for others. So I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bank on trying to get it out and try to look like a hero at the very end of right before the election. I would be trying to get it out sooner than later. And plus, let's face it, if let's say something gets signed mid-September, you're still looking, and mid-September is probably really that's cutting it close. Probably like 3 weeks into September, or they might wait because September 30th fiscal year ends. They might wait up until the hour. So they don't want to do the government shutdown, put everything in one package, and then send it on. So September 30th, they get something signed, or September 29th, they get something signed. And then at that point, then now we're going to have to wait. So October is going to be a busy month. We might start seeing something in the second week of October. And I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. I'm just saying that this is potentially what could transpire. And then we see something at some people will start receiving checks mid-October, but you'll still have people that won't receive their checks before the election. They'll know what's on the way, I guess, so maybe that'll help. But all right, here let's go ahead and move on. And I think it's important. I see people putting MAGA here and start to vote Trump out. So this is another thing that's important, and the reason why I think daily videos are good is because you want to show exactly what these politicians are saying, because some politicians have been saying stimulus checks. Yes, we want stimulus checks. President Trump himself said, yes, I'm for stimulus checks. I want it larger than what the Democrats want. Now, if you don't follow that story, then you don't realize that, wait a minute, you said larger than Democrats. Democrats are asking for $1,200 per individual, $1,200 per dependent. The HEALS Act comes out, and the HEALS Act was the Republican senators created this proposal, and I'll say the Republican senators and the White House. I'd say probably more the White House, because it looks like the Republican senators didn't really play that big of a role, and they created the HEALS Act, the parts that they wanted in the HEALS Act, and then the White House is they pretty much crafted it the way that they wanted it. And the reason that I know that that's the case is because Mitch McConnell didn't know that the FBI funding was in there. And that tells me, as being the Republican leader in the Senate, if you don't know that stuff's in your bill, then you didn't create that bill, right? And so the White House crafted that the way that they wanted to. But yeah, so that's a good story to know, right? Trump says one thing, it's not happening because the HEALS Act shows $1,200 for individuals, $500 per dependent. So that's less than what the Democrats were asking for. So and that's what I'm saying. There's all these different stories, and that will affect some people. Some people look at that and say, you know what, that's dishonest. He's saying that he wanted to do one thing, or he's saying that one thing's going to happen, and it's not happening. Other stories, the executive order. That's another thing that's important for us to understand, because executive order, 3 to 5 weeks. We'll say that 3 to 5 weeks of enhanced unemployment. People didn't know that. They didn't know that unless you read the fine print. You didn't know that it was going to be 3 to 5 weeks, and you didn't know that it was going to expire in September. And now we're going to have to look into more enhanced unemployment. You didn't know about the eviction moratorium. So we had things they call it eviction moratorium. Well, guess what? It's not an eviction moratorium. It's eviction assistance. So if you're being evicted, they will the federal government will find different programs to try to help you not get evicted. But there's no moratorium. You can still get evicted, and people will be getting evicted in September. Some people have already started getting evicted. So these are good stories to share, and you can only really do that if you keep up and you put out these videos. All right. Okay. All right. So you guys are talking about your favorites here, and I agree. I agree with what you guys are saying. Stephen Garner's good. We already talked about me, Kevin. Yeah, there are a lot of good YouTubers out there. I would say the majority of us are good when it comes to putting out content, but you do have some that are doing well, and they're not putting out quality content, in my opinion. All right. And just one thing that you can do too, and I swear this is it. This is the last thing I'm going to say about this. But one thing you can do too is just watch what they say, and if it's something that's happening soon, like a lot of them are saying. Like I saw one. I don't think it came up this last one I showed you guys, but they said something was happening this week, and that was just well, it's still this. It's Saturday, yeah. So it's still this week, but it was like 2 days ago. They said something was happening this week. Obviously, it didn't happen. What they were talking about it was that I think agreement reached this week or something. Our agreement will be reached this week or something like that. So that right there just shows you, okay, yeah, this guy, he's saying this, and it didn't happen. So, all right. Yeah, so we're done. We're done. We're done with that topic. But I will keep following. I'll maybe in the live streams we'll just pull up the incognito window and just look at it and just see what's out there, and we'll just call it, hey, we want to find out what else is going on. Maybe some stuff that I missed, and there's stuff that I missed. So true enough, yeah. I don't go over everything every time I do a video, so there might be some things that are missed, and we'll go over and talk about that stuff, and then we'll look at some of the other stuff that people are saying that's happening. Okay, let's see. So if you have a question for me, just put at TEC. We'll be on about another 10 minutes. If you could do me a favor, hey, let's get to 1,500 likes. If you guys could hit the like button. If you're in the building right now and you have not hit the like button, please do so. Get us up to 1,500 likes. I need help with the algorithm. I need help with the YouTube algorithm. They need to see that my videos are liked. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. So Carrie's asking, do I read the chats? I do. I'm reading the chats right now. Did you have a question? You have to put at TEC. That's what my eye is looking for that. Sometimes I'll see David, but if you put at TEC, I will see that. So if you do have a question, go ahead and put at TEC, and I'll address that question. There's so many videos. I don't have much free time. I'm busy dealing. I don't know what you're saying there about the weekends or the work. Okay, there are a lot of videos out there. I know. I agree with you, Laura. Um, yeah, there are definitely a lot of videos out. A lot more than there were before. And my feed is just full of videos now. Like every time I turn on or go on to YouTube, because I watch stimulus check videos and I put out stimulus check videos, like everything is stimulus check related. Deborah said everyone uses clickbait just in different ways. You know what? I can agree with that. I do agree with that because I will not mislead, but I will say good news, or I will say um, you have different things that will come up. I'm not going to tell you something's happening. I'm not going to confirm something or anything like that if it's not happening. But I think we all do. I mean, if you look at media, period, they all use clickbait. All of them use clickbait. Okay, so that's to kind of get. I mean, you have to do certain things to kind of catch their eye. Even when I do a thumbnail, I'm doing it to try to catch their eye. Okay, you see it, and if you guys know me, and I need to stop doing this, but I do a variety of different thumbnails, different types of thumbnails, and all this stuff just to see which ones are catching on better. But I do too many. I need to kind of just stick to one, and then people will know it, and they don't even have to. They know it's me without. They know it's me without my picture being on there or anything like that because it's the same thumbnail. But yeah, even when it comes to that, like if you guys don't know, when they do thumbnails, and this is a little secret for YouTubers out there, but you make your thumbnail sharper and more saturated with color, it usually does better because it stands out from the other thumbnails that are out there. So it catches people, like our eyes, we lock on to bright colors and things like that automatically. So that's a little tip. All right. All right, guys. Any questions? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Yes, Walter Wayburn. I like him. He's got good content. Okay, so Bessie saying, David, try hard to get to 200,000 subscribers. I believe it will be in your best interest. Well, yes, 200,000 would definitely be in my best interest. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Let's see. Trina's telling me to shut up. All right. Let's see. Or maybe she's telling somebody else. I don't know. You guys are going at it. Sayad says, absolutely true, David. All right. Sherry said, I click on them, tell them what I think of them, and click off. Yeah. I mean, I would feel guilty if I really mislead someone and then they call me out in the comment section. Like, how do you respond to that? You're telling someone something's happening and it doesn't. Yeah, I'd feel pretty guilty about that. Okay. You guys are getting brutal now. Okay, let me just move on here. You're getting brutal about other channels. Okay. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, just put at TEC. DJ says, very true. And let's see. Michael's saying, so can someone tell me why do we need any people in the office? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying, Michael. Why do we need any of the people that is in office? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of frustration to go around with people who are in office that are not really doing anything. But yeah, I don't know if I understand your question, Michael. Wise Guys, yeah, Wise Guys is good. I actually have some. If you guys check way back, because he's another travel credit card YouTuber, and we've done some collaborations before. If you look way back, like last year, we did some collabs. So if you guys are interested in travel credit card stuff, that's what we were talking about back then. All right. And Superbot saying clickbaiters on stimulus checks are horrible. Yeah, it's bad. It is. And like I said, it's the content is what bothers me. You can do clickbait on stuff, but when it's stuff like that, don't tell me I'm getting something that I'm not, or something's been agreed on that hasn't. All right. Let's move on down here. I think looks like I moved up and then moved back down again. One person you guys didn't mention, Shalay Morgan. She's good. She's really good. I don't know if you guys watch her, but Shalay Morgan, check her out. She's got good content. She didn't pay me to say that. But she's got good content. And nobody mentioned her in the chat. Let's see. A little late. A little late. I don't really watch the content that he puts out. I know he puts out a lot of videos. He's kind of like me, Kevin. Some of the titles that I've seen are not believable, just in my mind. But I don't watch his content. All right, let's go ahead and move on down here to the end. Dan is saying he's called some of them out on their lies. Ooh. I won't even go as far as saying they're lying. I would just say they're misleading. Like they're misleading you to click on their video. And then they're not fulfilling the promise of what they're saying in their thumbnail or what they're saying in their title. That's what I would say. Okay, and yeah, getting back to that question, which I got sidetracked on the whole YouTubers debate. But who do you think will be most affected by this whole situation if it doesn't happen? If we don't see a stimulus package, or if we have to wait until the end of September to see another stimulus package, who do you think is going to suffer the most? Do you think it will be Republicans? Do you think it will be Democrats? Do you think it will be the White House? Who's going to suffer the most? Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion, okay? In the chat, please let me know what your opinion is. Also in the comment section, let me know what your opinion is when it comes down to it. When it comes down to this, I think ultimately we look at the top. Okay, we look at the top person and we blame that top person for pretty much everything. Sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes it is. But we're going to look at that person at the top. So the president is going to be most affected by the fact if nothing gets done or if it takes too long for something to get done. I mean, I guess we could already say it's taken too long, but I think ultimately it's going to fall on the president. And so that's why you see the White House right now, they're really pushing. They are really pushing to try to get something done, or at least say, we want to negotiate, we want to negotiate. You see they keep saying that. Now, they're not really coming up on the numbers, and maybe that's because they know that they can't go much higher because they're not going to get any support from the Republicans. But I think it falls on the White House. It's going to fall on the president. People are going to look at the president and say, it's your fault, even if it's not. Okay, we know that Congress, they're the legislators. They are the ones that need to get things done. This should be Mitch McConnell's thing. He should be the one that's spearheading this, getting this signed, getting this approved and sent to the House, and then the House approving it and sending it to the president. That's what should be happening right now. That is not happening, but that's what should be happening. And so ultimately it's going to fall on the president, although realistically Mitch McConnell is the one that should be getting his Senate together to get this bill. Just like, I mean, you can like Nancy Pelosi or not like Nancy Pelosi, she can get things done in the House. We saw the Postal Service bill. We saw the HEROES Act. So if she wants to get something done, she can get it done through the House. But the only problem, and I see this a lot, and this is not a good thing, because people are not understanding where we are right now. A lot of people are upset with Nancy Pelosi, and the main reason they're upset with her is because she's the one that's in negotiating, and she's kind of the figurehead, right? People are looking at her and saying, okay, well, this is Nancy Pelosi's fault. She doesn't want to budge on 2.2 trillion or what have you. But the reality is she's negotiating with Mark Meadows, but where it's stalled in the Senate. It's not stalled in the House. The House already passed the HEROES Act. Now, the HEROES Act is not being addressed right now, but Nancy Pelosi can't do anything right now. The only thing that she could do is create a whole new bill. And it's kind of senseless to create a whole new bill and get it approved and sent back over to the Senate if they already have a bill that they can't agree on. So we're not hung up in the House right now. We're hung up in the Senate. And so you can be upset with Nancy Pelosi, think that she's stalling everything, but the reality is the Senate is what's stalling everything, because we need to have both chambers agree upon something. We have one chamber that has agreed upon the HEROES Act. We have another chamber, the Senate, who can't even agree on the HEALS Act. So that's where we need to really focus our attention. And the problem with the negotiations and the phone calls and stuff that are going on right now, it's between Nancy Pelosi and Mark Meadows. Guess what's going to happen if they say, okay, yeah, we agree with this. Now they have to sell it to the Senate, because the Senate's going to have to vote on it. And so when we're looking at this whole situation and people are saying, well, it's Nancy Pelosi's fault, it's the Democrats' fault, whatever, however you want to say that, guess what? The Senate Republicans need to approve a bill. That's it. They need to approve something. Mitch McConnell needs to get in there and they need to approve something. And then they can send it to the House. Now the pressure will be on the House. And now, yes, we'll look at Nancy Pelosi and say, hey, here's the bill. What are you going to do with it? And that's why you have some Republican senators trying to do this skinny bill, this $500 billion bill, because they're looking at it and they're saying, okay, you know what? Let's try to bring some more Republicans. We have some Republicans that don't want another stimulus package at all. Maybe we can kind of tell them, hey, look, $500 billion, it's not going to be that $1 trillion. It's not going to be that $2.2 trillion. It's only going to be $500 billion, just so we can get through this. We have a lot of people running for re-election. Kind of play that angle, right? And hopefully they can bring some of those senators over, and they won't need that many Democratic senators to vote their way. And so that's where we are right now. It's not in Nancy Pelosi's court. Now, she is in the negotiations because they know that she carries a lot of power, carries a lot of weight, and she has a lot of influence when it comes to the Democrats, and she's going to need to get whatever's agreed upon in the Senate. She's going to need to get that through the House. So that's why she's there. But the Senate has to put something forward, and they have not done that. So that's where we're stuck. We're stuck with the Senate right now, not doing something. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, in my opinion, I do think the blame is going to fall on the president. And so that's why they're going to need to come up on their number. That 1.3 trillion, they need to come up higher than that. Because, and Nancy Pelosi knows that. That's why she's saying 2.2. That's my, I won't call it a red line, but she's pretty much saying that's where she's not budging off that, right? She probably will. She might drop it down to 2 trillion, maybe just under 2 trillion, maybe 1.9 trillion, 1.8 trillion or something like that. But the White House is going to have to come up higher. And they realize that because they know what's coming in September. And they know there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to expire and people are going to really be desperate. And so we will see that number increase. That 1.3 trillion will increase. And then you have to also think about, why are you being so stingy? Like, realistically, in an election year, you're thinking that much about, okay, yeah, we can't spend another what would it be? Another 700 billion. We can't spend another 700 billion. That would just, we would just completely be out of our minds to spend that much more, because they've already said 1.3. So we can't spend another 700 billion. It doesn't make any sense to me. Right before an election, you're really gonna bank your whole career or future career on $700 billion that Congress is saying, hey, one side of Congress is saying, hey, we're good with that. If you give us 2 trillion, we'll move forward. And then you're going to say, yeah, we're going to stay at 1.3. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So we'll see where it goes. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's going to fall on the president? Do you think it's going to fall on the Republicans in the Senate? Do you think it's going to fall on Nancy Pelosi? Another thing you have to understand too, the stimulus package affects everyone in the country. Nancy Pelosi, she only has to run in her district. The president has to run nationwide, right? Senators have to run statewide, the ones that are running for re-election. So the president faces much more he has much more to lose because it's nationwide. And if people don't get, if we don't get another stimulus package, not only are you going to have individuals mad if they don't get a stimulus check, you're going to have businesses mad because they didn't get any more assistance, and they might have to go bankrupt and all that. So you're going to have a lot of people upset if another stimulus package doesn't get through, and that's a nationwide thing. And so he has much more to lose. The senators, they have a lot to lose as well. They're running statewide. And so not all the senators are running, just so you know. It's about 20, I think it's about 23 senators are running for re-election in the Republican Party. And then in Democrats, I think it's like 12 running. All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up. So let me go ahead and get down here. So thank you guys very much for the likes. 1,600 likes. Wow, that is really good. That might be a record. I think that's a record. So I appreciate all your support. You guys are great. All right. Tanya's saying the Senate's to blame. Yeah, something needs to. They need to get something done. They really do, and that's the big problem right here. Once something gets approved, and it doesn't even, and that, like I said, that's why the skinny bill is out there, or not out there yet, but that's why they're talking about putting it out there, because if they can get something, even if it's something only they want, and send it over to the House, well, now the pressure's on the House to do something, and they're going to have to argue about how to handle it. Okay. All right, guys, we'll read 2 more questions. So if you have a question, just put it in the chat. Let's see. The best of me saying Pelosi not being bending or not bending, we get nothing. I think you're saying if she's not budging or not, like, agreeing on anything, we get nothing. So we have to work in steps. The Senate has to approve something. Once they approve something, then it's going to go to the House, and then the House is going to have to approve it. Then that's when Nancy Pelosi, that's when she's going to play a major role in trying to get the numbers to either vote for it or not vote for it at all. But yeah, it's going to have to go to her after the Senate does something. But the Senate has to act first. Let's see, anything on EIDL? So we don't know yet. We don't know what they're going to do with that. We know there's funding. They keep talking about funding for PPP. There might be some EIDL funding in there as well. I did benefit from EIDL. I think it's a good program. They had a grant, plus they had loans. The funny thing about the loans, I didn't want the loan. I just wanted the grant, and they kept calling. They called me twice about that, and I told them, no, I'm fine. I don't want it. And they said, okay, we're going to take you off the list, and we're going to send you a letter. And then they called me a couple weeks later with the same thing, like about the EIDL loan. But yeah, I think that's a good program, definitely. All right. And let's see. Dan's asking how much of the 2.2 trillion is pork. So we don't know what's in the 2.2 trillion. That's a good question. How much is pork? How much is in the 1.3 trillion is pork? You have to ask yourself that question too. We don't know. We don't know the details yet. But we'll have to see what they're talking about here. Okay. And I wish things were more transparent with the people. I wish we were able to see exactly what they're talking about. Okay, Nancy Pelosi, you want 2.2 trillion. What is in this 2.2 trillion? How do you get that number? Where is the money going? That would be great. If the people knew that, that would really give us a good idea of how to handle it, like where to go with it, right? Like people would be outraged if there's money in there for things that aren't popular and we can't get a deal done because of it. Born Beauty saying that PPP was a nightmare. For some people, yeah. I didn't go with the PPP. I didn't do any loans or anything like that, but I did hear that it was a nightmare for some people to apply, and people weren't able to apply. So they're going to stick with it. All right, guys. Looks like we are at the end here. Let's see. Two-store. I always heard you answer my question. Yvonne, I don't know what your question was. If you guys ever, if I don't answer a question, just put @TEC and ask the question again. You don't have to tell me I didn't answer your question. Or maybe you could put second attempt, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll put, you didn't answer my question, and there's no way I'm going to be able to find your question. Like in all the chat, I'm not going to be able to go back up and find it. So put it on there again, because all I'm going to do is say, oh, I didn't answer your question. What was your question? So you're going to have to post it again. So if I don't answer a question, like if I skip it and you want me to answer it, just put @TEC, hey, can you answer this question for me? I asked you it earlier, or something like that, and then I'll answer it. But a lot of people just put, yeah, you didn't answer my question. Okay, well, what was your question? All right. Seeking him daily. So he's asking about the announcement, the $300 unemployment, the enhanced unemployment. Let me, you know what? I'll do this right before we leave. I'll pull up the latest map that we have here. So this is our latest map. Yahoo Finance, they do an excellent job of creating these maps. So this was as of yesterday. So these are the states that we're looking at as far as where they are in the process. So you have only one state that declined, and that is South Dakota. And then in the blue here, these states haven't applied. So interestingly enough, you have states that have not applied. Florida, wow, Florida hasn't applied. That's interesting, especially with everything that's going on. So that's the breakdown there, and then you have the ones that are applying here. So they're showing you the light blue. Those are the ones that applied. The fluorescent green here, these are the ones that have been approved. So you see a lot of states have been approved for 300, and then the ones that have started already. So we have Arizona, Texas, Missouri, Louisiana, Tennessee. All those states have started paying out already. So you'll just have to look on here to see where your state is, and hopefully that will help you. And it looks like Rocio's saying that Florida's in the process. Okay, so this was as of yesterday, as of 8/28. So maybe there's been some changes, but I really like how Yahoo Finance is a good. If you guys don't watch Yahoo Finance's their YouTube channel, they have really good content. And I used to really be into Yahoo back when the internet just started, I guess you could say. I was all about Yahoo. I was because Yahoo used to be more popular than Google, and so I was all over Yahoo and had my Yahoo account, email and all that. But since then, Google kind of took over. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take off here. Thank you guys all for stopping by. We'll be back on tomorrow. I think you know what? I'll do it again at 1:00. So 1:00 Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, and I'm gonna start working out. We're not doing a drawing today. I'm kind of sad about that. We've run out of money. Like our Cash App is gone. $1,200 plus, because we went over $1,200. We spent that stimulus check already, and so we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll come up with another plan here. But I was hoping that by this time we would have another stimulus check, but unfortunately that's not the way things are working out. So we'll start doing some more giveaways in the future. But tomorrow we'll be back on 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come by, join the fun, and there should be some pretty interesting stuff come out tomorrow. I might not be able to get everything in the live stream because some of the talk shows, because you have a lot of morning shows, excuse me, you have a lot of morning news shows that talk about that will be talking about the whole debate, stimulus checks and all. Everybody's focusing on that now. The conventions are over, so now we're focusing on, okay, what's going to happen with stimulus package, what's going to happen with the budget. So there'll be some really good dialogue on tomorrow. I might not be able to catch it all, but I'll probably do a live stream and then do a video later on that afternoon. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you guys all for stopping by. Talk to you later. Bye.